Ellen Ray Greenberg's death has remained one of the most baffling and heartbreaking mysteries in Philadelphia. On January 26, 2011, the 27-year-old was found dead in her Venice Lofts apartment in the Manayunk neighborhood, leaving her family and friends in shock. The case became the subject of ABC and Hulu's documentary series Death in Apartment 603 Seats, What Happened to Ellen Greenberg, which explores the complicated and contradictory details surrounding her death. Initially, Ellen's death was treated as suicide, but her autopsy later suggested homicide, only for authorities to reverse the ruling again shortly afterward. This has left the public confused and her family desperate for answers. Ellen was born on June 23, 1983, in New York to Sandy and Josh Greenberg. As their only child, she received all the love and attention a parent could give. Even though she was an only child, Ellen was never lonely. Her extended family was extremely close and played a major role in her upbringing, always present for her in important moments. From an early age, Ellen was known to be bright, outgoing, and full of ambition. She discovered a love for storytelling and journalism as a school reporter, which inspired her to pursue a degree in communications. She enrolled at Penn State University, where she earned her bachelor's degree while receiving constant encouragement and support from her family. Her cousins, in particular, promised to keep an eye on her and guide her through adulthood, which made her feel secure despite being away from home. After graduating, Ellen decided to move to Philadelphia to pursue her career dreams. She studied further at Temple University and Chestnut Hill College to earn her credentials as an educator. Eventually, she became a first-grade teacher at Juniata Park Academy, a position she cherished. Around this time, Ellen met Sam Hankin Goldberg, a features producer for NBC Sports, through mutual friends on a blind date. The couple quickly fell in love and were together for 3 years before getting engaged in the summer of 2010. By January 2011, Ellen and Sam were actively planning their wedding, which was scheduled for August that year. The date cards had been sent out just days before her death, showing that the couple was excited about the future and seemingly happy together. However, those closest to Ellen noticed that she had been struggling with her mental health since late 2010. Friends and family said she experienced bouts of anxiety and uncertainty about whether she wanted to continue teaching. She began seeing a psychiatrist during this time who prescribed medication for her anxiety. Despite these struggles, medical notes and those who knew her said that Ellen remained a vibrant, enthusiastic person, particularly when discussing her fiancé and their wedding plans. At no point did her psychiatrist note any clear signs of suicidal thoughts. The day of her death coincided with a massive blizzard in Philadelphia. Ellen left work early, anxious about the weather, and returned home to apartment 603 in Venice Lofts. Records show she stopped at a gas station at 1:26 p.m. and arrived home around 1:40 p.m. Witnesses say she was alive and seemingly well when Sam left for the gym after 4:45 p.m. Upon returning about 30 minutes later, he found her unresponsive behind a locked apartment door. According to him, He thought she might have been showering or using headphones, so he began texting her to open the door. When there was no response, he spoke to building security about gaining access. But after waiting for over an hour, he decided to break down the door himself. When Sam finally entered, he found Ellen partially propped against the kitchen cabinets with a 10-inch knife in her chest. He immediately called 911, and the dispatcher instructed him to begin CPR until first responders arrived. At the scene, authorities initially deemed Ellen's death a suicide. However, her autopsy, performed just a couple of days later, revealed shocking details. She had 20 stab wounds on her upper body, including 10 on her back and neck, and 11 older bruises in various stages of healing. This discovery prompted medical examiner Marlon Osborne to rule her death a homicide. The shocking revelation contradicted the initial suicide determination and caused local police to open an investigation, but their efforts were hindered because the apartment had not been preserved as a crime scene. The apartment was cleaned after Ellen's belongings were retrieved for her funeral, including her laptop and cell phone, which were crucial to the investigation. The initial 911 call reportedly influenced the original suicide ruling. Sam had stated that Ellen stabbed herself and fell on the knife, and police were not aware of the wounds on her back and neck until the autopsy report surfaced. Once authorities received this new information, they began requesting access to her devices, interviewing friends, family, colleagues, and her psychiatrist, and speaking with witnesses. Yet, by early February 2011, the manner of death was controversially changed back to suicide due to the absence of defensive wounds and the presumption that her old bruises were side effects of her new anxiety medication. Ellen's family has never believed she died by suicide. They argue that the number of stab wounds on her back and the excitement she showed about her upcoming wedding are incompatible with the idea of self-harm. While Sam reportedly accepted the suicide ruling, Ellen's parents sought answers through private investigators, legal counsel, and media attention. Their persistence paid off in 2019 when the Philadelphia Inquirer published a detailed report examining the inconsistencies in how Ellen's death was handled. Further investigations revealed that Dr. Osborne may have changed his ruling from homicide to suicide after receiving unverifiable information. He claimed he was told Sam was accompanied by security when he broke down the apartment door, but surveillance footage contradicted this, showing that Sam was alone. Additionally, the building concierge from that day confirmed that Sam had not been accompanied by anyone, casting further doubt on the original story. Another layer of complexity arose from claims that Ellen had searched for terms like painless suicide on her devices. However, the first official documents referencing these searches appeared years later, raising questions about their authenticity. Forensic experts remain uncertain about how the wounds to her back and neck occurred, with one possibility being that they were inflicted post-mortem. This uncertainty, combined with the contradictions in police, medical, and witness accounts, continues to leave the case unresolved. In early 2025, Philadelphia authorities reached a settlement with Ellen's parents to re-examine the existing evidence and reopen her case. This decision marked a significant step toward possibly uncovering the truth, though many questions remain unanswered. The investigation will consider all previous findings, re-evaluate the forensic evidence, and attempt to resolve the long-standing mystery of what truly happened in apartment E603. Ellen Greenberg's death has had a profound impact on her family, friends, and the wider community, with many still hoping for justice and clarity after more than a decade of confusion and conflicting reports. Ellen's story highlights the challenges of navigating mental health, relationships, and sudden tragedy. It also underscores the importance of thorough crime scene investigation and the need for transparency in forensic examinations. Her death remains a chilling reminder of how quickly life can change, even when everything seems perfect on the surface. With renewed attention and reopened investigations, there is hope that Ellen's family will finally receive the answers they have been seeking for years. The case continues to captivate true crime enthusiasts and viewers of Death in Apartment 603, as it remains one of the most perplexing death investigations in recent memory. The public remains fascinated not only by the mysterious circumstances of Ellen's death, but also by the conflicting reports, the questions surrounding evidence, and the ongoing struggle of her family to uncover the truth. Ellen Greenberg's death is a tragic story that reminds us that sometimes appearances can be deceiving, and the search for justice can take years, or even decades, to unfold.